In the world of football, few names resonate as powerfully as Diego Armando Maradona, a man of unparalleled talent. His journey was one of spectacular highs and devastating lows. He wasn't just a player, he was a symbol, a force of nature, whose story is woven into the fabric of football history. This is the story of a man who lived and played with unmatched passion, a legend who forever changed the game. Diego Armando Maradona was born on October 30, 1960 in Villa Fiorito, a poor suburb of Buenos Aires, Argentina. The fifth of 8 children, Diego's early life was a stark contrast to the wealth and fame he would later achieve. His family lived in a small, cramped house, yet even in the midst of poverty, young Diego found his sanctuary in a simple leather football. By the age of 8, Diego's talent was already undeniable. He would spend hours on end juggling the ball, practicing his dribbling, honing the skills that would one day captivate the world. It wasn't long before he was discovered by a scout from Los Cebolitas, the youth team of Argentinos Juniors. There he became the centerpiece of a team that went on an astonishing 136-game unbeaten run, a feat that still echoes in Argentine football lore. Even as a child, Maradona's dreamed big. He once said, "My first dream is to play in the World Cup and the second is to win it." These words spoken by a boy with little more than a ball at his feet, and the dream in his heart would foreshadow a future that would take him to the unimaginable heights. At just 15 years old, Maradona made his professional debut for Argentinos Juniors on October 20, 1976. The moment was electric. With his first touch, he performed a nutmeg, a move that signaled the arrival of a prodigy. Over the next 5 years, Maradona scored an astonishing 116 goals in 166 appearances, a record that not only earned him a move to Boca Juniors, but also the undying adoration of fans. The move was more than just a transfer, it was a homecoming. His impact was immediate. In his first season, he led Boca to the Metropolitano Championship, dazzling the Bombonera with his skills, vision and infectious passion. For Boca fans, he wasn't just a player, he was a hero, a savior who thought. Maradona's influence was extended beyond the pitch. His presence lifted the entire squad, his charisma and sheer will to win. But even then, the pressure of fame were beginning to weigh on the young star. In 1982, after a disappointing World Cup with Argentina, Maradona made a record-breaking move to FC Barcelona for £5 million. The transfer marked the beginning of a new chapter in his life. Maradona's time in Barcelona was a mix of brilliance and turmoil. He scored 38 goals in 58 games, showcasing his extraordinary talent on one of the biggest stages in football. But his stint in Spain was also marked by a series of injuries, including a brutal tackle by one of Athletic Bilbao's players that left him sidelined for months. Off the pitch, Maradona struggled with the intense media scrutiny and the growing pressures of his fame. The breaking point came in the 1984 Copa del Rey final, where Maradona was involved in a violent brawl with Athletic Bilbao's players, an incident that shocked the world. Disillusioned and seeking a new challenge, Maradona left Barcelona for Napoli, a move that would define his legacy. When Maradona arrived in Naples, the city was in a desperate need of a hero. Napoli, a club with a history of underachievement, had never won a Serie A title. But Maradona's arrival sparked a revolution. He became the heart and soul of the team, leading them to the first ever Serie A title in 1987. For the people of Naples, Maradona wasn't just a footballer, he was a symbol of hope, a defiant underdog who stood up against wealthy, powerful clubs of the north. Maradona's years at Napoli were the peak of his career. He led the club to 2 Serie A titles, a Coppa Italia and the UEFA Cup, becoming a godlike figure in the city. His free kick against Juventus in 1985, curling the ball into the top corner from an impossible angle, is still remembered as one of the greatest goals in Serie A history. Maradona's impact on Napoli extended beyond football. He united the city divided by poverty and inequality, giving the people of Naples a sense of pride and identity. But with the evolution came immense pressure, and the cracks in Maradona's personal life were beginning to show. The 1986 World Cup in Mexico was Maradona's masterpiece, a tournament where he delivered some of the most iconic performances in football history, but it was also a stage where the duality of his character, hero and villain, was full on display. In the quarter-final against England, Maradona scored 2 of the most famous goals in the World Cup history. The first, the hand of God, was a moment of cunning and audacity, where he used his hand to punch the ball past England's goalkeeper Peter Shilton. The goal sparked outrage and controversy, but Maradona, unapologetic, later described it as "a little with the head of Maradona and a little with the hand of God." But it was his second goal in a match that truly defined his genius. Picking up the ball in his own half, Maradona embarked on a 60-yard run, weaving past 5 English defenders before calmly slotting the ball into the net. It was a moment of pure brilliance, later dubbed the goal of the century. With the Zinger run, Maradona transcended the game, leaving a mark on football history. Maradona's performance carried Argentina to the final, where they defeated West Germany to win the World Cup. Maradona was awarded the Golden Ball as the tournament's best player, and his image lifting the trophy alone became a symbol of Argentine pride and football greatness. But with the glory came a darker side. Maradona's time in Naples was also marked by a controversy and scandal. His ties with the Camorra, Naples' powerful crime syndicate, became a well-known secret. Maradona, once the savior of the city, found himself entangled in a web of corruption and excess. As Maradona's fame grew, so did his problems. His addiction to cocaine, which began during his time at Barcelona, spiraled out of control in Naples. In 1991, his world came crashing down when he tested positive for cocaine and was banned from football for 15 months.
Both analysis of the urine sample have proved to be positive. The player Diego Maradona of the Argentinian national team has therefore violated the provisions of the doping control regulations in the match Argentina-Nigeria.
The hero had fallen, and the city that once worshipped him now turned its back. After serving his suspension, Maradona attempted a comeback with Sevilla in Spain, but his performances were inconsistent and the weight of his past transgressions haunted him. Maradona was a shadow of his former self, struggling to find brilliance that once came so naturally. In 1993, Maradona returned to Argentina, signing with Newell's Old Boys, and later rejoined Boca Juniors, the club where his heart always belonged. While his playing days were drawing to a close, the adoration from Boca fans never wavered. They cheered every touch, every goal, reliving the glory days through their idol. But Maradona knew his time on the pitch was nearing its end. Maradona officially retired from football on October 25, 1997. His farewell was emotional, filled with tears and heartfelt tributes from around the world. But even as he stepped away from the game, Maradona's influence on the game and popular culture remained as strong as ever. After retiring, Maradona's life continued to be a roller coaster. He tried his hand at coaching, including a stint as the manager of Argentine national team, leading them to the 2010 World Cup. His tenure was marked by the same passion and unpredictability that defined his playing career. Though his coaching career never matched his achievements as a player, Maradona remained an influential figure in the world of football. Diego Maradona's legacy extends far beyond his goal and trophies. He was a cultural icon, a symbol of the struggles and triumphs of the working class. In Argentina, he was more than a footballer. He was a national hero, a man who brought joy and pride to a country often mired in political economic turmoil. Around the world, he was celebrated not just for his skill, but for his fiery spirit, his defiance and his unwavering love for the game. When Maradona passed away on November 25, 2020, the world mourned the loss of a legend. Tributes poured in from every corner of the globe. In Naples, Buenos Aires, and Barcelona, fans came together to celebrate the life of a man who gave everything to the sport he loved. Murals were painted, stadiums lit up, and tears were shed as the world said goodbye to one of the greatest footballers of all time. Diego Maradona was far from perfect, but it was his imperfections that made him human, relatable, and beloved. He lived his life with an intensity and passion that few could match. He was a flawed genius, a man who inspired millions with his skill, his spirit, and his story. Maradona may be gone, but his legend will live on, immortalized in the hearts of football fans forever. Thank you, Diego, for the memories, the magic, and the passion. Rest in peace, knowing that your legacy will never fade. If you enjoyed this tribute to Diego Maradona, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more stories.